Welcome back to English from A to Z, English in real life. Okay, I want you to picture this. You're out at a restaurant, maybe trying a new place, and you taste something that is just absolutely incredible. And you immediately think, wow, I have to figure out how to make this at home. But then, when you try to explain those amazing flavors to tell someone about it, the words just, they're not there. It's such a common, frustrating problem for language learners, and today we're going to deconstruct a really fascinating method designed to solve exactly that. So, does this whole scenario ring a bell? You have this really rich, vivid experience going on. You can feel the taste, the smell, the texture, but there's this huge gap between what's happening in your head and what you can actually say in English, you know? It's like having a brilliant idea but no pen to write it down with. And the root of this problem, the real bottleneck, is this mental block right here. You're not really thinking in English. What's happening is you're thinking in your native language first and then trying to be this real-time translator for yourself. And it's slow. It feels super awkward. And the words you end up with, they just don't quite capture the feeling, right? So, how do we break out of that translation trap? Well, the solution isn't just about cramming more vocabulary. It's about a fundamental shift in how you approach the language. The real goal is to build what we can call a think in English mindset. Okay, let's just look at this comparison because it really says it all. The old way, the translating way, keeps you one step behind the conversation. It's like your brain is constantly buffering. But the goal is to close that gap completely. It's to have the thought and the English words show up at the exact same time. It's all about making English the natural language for your experiences, which leads to that instant, natural, and confident way of speaking we're all after. And this gets to the absolute core concept behind that goal. It's called foundational understanding. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, you have to think about every single movement, but eventually it becomes so ingrained that you just do it. It's automatic. That's what this is. Your brain just gets the patterns. And this is the secret to becoming resilient. So even when people are talking really fast, you can still follow along because your foundation is just that solid. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually build that foundation? Well, this method lays out a very clear, structured process. This isn't just random practice. It's a specific 3-round system that's designed to take you from just passively listening to actively creating sentences on your own. So here's how it works. First, you start with shadowing, practicing sentences with a guide, kind of like singing along with a song to get the rhythm and pronunciation just right. Then you move on to practicing alone, but you only use images as prompts. This forces your brain to actually recall the language, not just recognize it. And then, the final, most important step, you connect all those individual ideas to create a real coherent story. And here's the part that makes this whole system so effective. It's not built around random, disconnected sentences. It's built around a complete narrative journey, what the source material calls a food adventure. See, by following a logical story from the beginning to the end, the language becomes so much easier to remember and, more importantly, to actually use in real life. So let's jump into the first part of that journey. It all starts with that initial spark, that moment of discovery. You're trying something totally new, and your mind is just buzzing with questions and observations. Now take a look at these examples. They perfectly capture that first moment. You're not just saying, "This is good," you're analyzing, right? You're using phrases like an amazing combination of flavors. You're making personal connections. This reminds me of my grandmother's cooking. And you're getting curious, wondering about the ingredients. This is where the whole adventure kicks off. And all that curiosity, it naturally leads right here to the preparation phase. You've been inspired, and now you're taking the first real steps to recreate that experience yourself. This is the planning and the research part of your adventure. And these sentences show that you've shifted from being a passive taster to an active participant. You're engaging with it now. You're finding that recipe, you're noticing new ingredients, and you're even acknowledging that it looks challenging. You're not just enjoying the dish anymore, you're starting to own the whole process. And now for the really fun part. We move into the kitchen for the creation. This is where theory becomes practice. It's the hands-on, experimental, and let's be honest, sometimes unpredictable heart of the journey. These examples really capture the reality of cooking. It's a dynamic, sensory process. You're experimenting. You're enjoying those incredible smells. But here's what I think is so important. The language also covers mistakes, like I accidentally added too much salt. This is absolutely key because real stories and real learning always include those little imperfections. And finally, the adventure all leads to this, the most rewarding part. The creation isn't just for you, it's meant to be shared. This is where the whole journey becomes about connection and about community. And these final sentences, they really capture the whole point of the journey. That's social payoff. You're cooking for your family, friends are asking for the recipe, and you're reflecting on this bigger idea that food creates memories. The meal itself has become a way to connect, which is exactly what language is all about. So, when you put all of this together, the mindset, the three-round system, the narrative journey, what's the ultimate transformation? Well, it's about moving beyond just speaking English to becoming a storyteller in English. This quote from the source really hits the nail on the head. Fluency isn't about reciting memorized phrases. True confidence comes from being able to weave your own personal experiences into a compelling story that just flows naturally, exactly like you would in your native language. And this is really the main takeaway. The whole system, the practice rounds, the story structure, it's all just a framework. The food adventure is just a template. The real goal is to empower you to take this structure and apply it to your life so you can tell your unique stories about your experiences. And that leaves us with this final thought. This method gives you the tools, it gives you the framework, but the content, that has to come from you. Whether it's a food adventure, a story about your travels, or something that happened at work, the most powerful communication happens when you share something that's authentic to you. So, what's the story only you can tell?